Greetings one and all, this is Rhythmworks and welcome to my channel with some more The Last of Us Remastered multiplayer action. And I'm chilling and killing with my mate sparKINGting. Aqua and Marsh are on some life duties at the minute, so you know, you just not so much make do, but you just got to carry on regardless with the teammates that you have and just hope that the random players can kind of adapt and fit into what we're dealing with. So that's that. Now, next up, if you hear me mentioning the word Tulu a lot, it's simply an abbreviation for The Last of Us. I'm kind of getting a bit fed up of saying The Last of Us, The Last of Us, The Last of Us, because everyone knows what we're playing. Everyone knows what the game is called. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm mentioning Tulu. All right, next up, there are some Tulu YouTube commentators and Tulu YouTube channels that I just gotta big them up, man, because you know, since the game came out, obviously the game was very, very popular, but it came out on the PS3 and there were like a few dedicated Tulu YouTube channels. Now that it's been released on the PS4, a lot more has basically popped up and they're really taking on to the game like duck to water, and it's really good to see that there's a big Tulu community. I mean, there's two types of community. There's a community that really takes it a tad too serious, and there's a community that, you know, just takes it all in the stride of fun. It's all about fun at the end of the day. So I want to big those guys up. I want to big the guys that actually does all the tutorials, you know, and goes in meticulous ways in letting us know about each gun, loadout, class, this, that, tactics, what have you, you know, getting under the hood and into the nuts and bolts of the whole game and letting us know through their experience how the game plays for them and how the game might play for you, being probably inexperienced or just wanting to improve on your game, on your swagger. So I want to big up all those channels doing a wonderful, wonderful job, you know, because, you know, and even with the quality of the videos that they put up, you can tell they put in some time and effort. And some of these channels don't get a lot of love, you know what I'm saying? You know, and some do, some don't. But whether you get a lot of love or you don't get a lot of love, you know, the content speaks volumes regardless, you know. So I just want to big you guys up. All right, second thing I want to talk about is randoms. Now in this situation here, obviously, you know, I'm not playing with the full team, as it were, with Aqua and Marsh, PB&J, but you know, you're going to encounter at some point randoms, especially if you're new to the game and you don't have a team together. You're going to experience randoms, and sometimes that can be an off-putting experience because of the fact, well, they might not even have a mic, and even if they do have a mic, you know, they're not going to listen to what the hell you're saying. I mean, I played a game last night and this dude had a mic on and he never said a word. All he just said was, oh man, oh damn, oh man, oh damn. You know, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? I want to hear instructions. I can take instructions, you know what I'm saying, very, very well, you know. But I just think it's just down to the fact that people just don't want to be told what to do, because even if you advise them and you guide them, to them it just sounds like you're telling them what to do, and it's their electric at the end of the day, so they can do what the fuck they want to do, simple as. And I hear that and I completely understand that. So it might be a daunting experience, but you know, there are benefits of playing with randoms, and the first benefit is, number one, knowing how not to play. It's as simple as that, you know, because you get some randoms that just has no regard for your position or your status in the game whatso freaking ever. They're just out there to get as many kills as they can possibly get. That is fine. Having a good kill death ratio is fine. But if you're on the losing team with that, you're on the losing team. I rather just have 3 downs, 2 executions, 6 deaths, and still be on the winning team. If I have 11 or 12 or 13 executions, 13 downs, and I'm still on the losing team, how does that make me better than anybody else? Makes no sense to me. But that's a benefit of knowing how not to play. There's also another benefit of actually, you know, sharpening up your skills by simply just watching how other people play, watching how other randoms play. If you stick together with them, even if, you know, they don't stick with you, you stick with them. So you're actually kind of watching them, how they play, you know. In some respects, I'm not into watching people play, but in a team-based situation where the ultimate objective is for you to get a team, build a clan, you know, it does have its benefits, you know, in terms of watching other people play, because, you know, those other players have more experience than you, you know, so it only makes sense. It doesn't really make sense to try and beast on something that you have no experience in, no matter if you've played Call of Duty or Battlefield. It's a different game altogether. It's a different paced game. So that's another benefit. And also, another benefit of playing with randoms is actually, you know, of you being in the same position as a lot more people in the game, because, you know, there are other people in the match that are probably like you that does not have a team to play with and are looking for someone to hook up with and make a clan. And I tell you, the best players to choose, and I got to big up a guy called, I think it's A. Smith. We was playing a game yesterday and we was whooping ass, man. We was just whooping ass. And then, as expected, people started leaving the game. Now, there's different reasons why people leave the game, obviously because of missions and stuff like that. But there was this one dude that was left. He did not leave. He had his bow and arrow and he did not leave. And he was getting a good couple of kills because we couldn't hear him whatsoever, you know, and he was getting a good couple of kills in, but he knew that, you know, the odds of him winning the match was going to be slim because it's not survivors, you know, it's supply rate. So, you know, there's going to be strength in numbers no matter how you look at it. But this dude literally just stayed the course, stayed the duration, and decided within himself, well, look, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die freaking trying, man. I'm gonna die on my feet, not on my knees. And that was his attitude. And after the match, I sent him a friend request and I sent him a message saying respect for holding out. And he replied and he said, yeah, cheers, man. So, you know, that must have, you know, made his day to know that even him getting his ass whooped, people can respect somebody for that, you know. What other benefits are there? Well, sticking to the same benefit, basically, you know, when you find people like that are willing to stay the course and fight it out regardless, those are the type of players you need in your squad. You know, when you have players that basically leave all the fucking time, you know, it don't make sense because you don't know the reason. Unless they have a mic and tell you, they're not going to tell you when they leave. More times, like, they want to be on the side that wins all the fucking time, you know what I'm saying? You know, and win by great margins as well. You know, and I've played in many matches where, you know, we've been down, I don't know, 13, 12 to 20, and we still come back and win. You know, the fun is the coming back and winning by adapting to your situation. So, you know, there's a lot of things to consider when you're playing this game. And those really are the benefits of playing with randoms. Next up, I want to talk about DLC. The Last of Us DLC. Naughty Dog's DLC in general. Now, me personally, you know, I don't mind the DLC thing, you know, everything within reason. You know that the DLC is used to fund the development of future games and what have you. I totally get that. I totally understand that. But I learned my lesson from Uncharted 3. You know, I'm one of these people that, you know, I will look for an outfit, I will look for a skin and stick with that because that's my trademark. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense me, you know, changing my clothes. It's not like, you know, I'm going to be sweating and have body odor in the game. Do you know what I mean? You know, so, you know, so I'm just going to be playing in a particular style, dressed a particular way, and have my trademark established from that, you know. There are people who, you know, they go in for the whole DLC thing and buy DLC, buy the skins, buy the hats and what have you. That's fine, but I learned my lesson from Uncharted 3. There is no way I'm going to go into Uncharted 3's DLC and buy a horse's head. and run around with that. Why am I going to do that? It just doesn't make any sense. You know, DLC are made for you to personalize your character. You know, and I mean, I'm not telling nobody how to spend their money and what have you, but you know, that's just what goes on in my house. And it's going to be a time where, you know, people are going to be depending. Well, Naughty Dog is going to be depending on the multiplayer for the game's life's longevity. And you know, when you play the story mode on grounded level and you've done and you got the trophies from that, there's nothing else to do. There's only the multiplayer. So Naughty Dog better get his act together and find out some modes that we can play in multiplayer to bring more variety to the thing. Some co-op shit, you know what I mean? That would be great. That would be a good thing. Some mission-based co-op things. Yeah, I think that would be a real good thing. And the last thing I want to talk about is Twitch. Twitch, the game streaming service that is now taking stringent measures in combating video on demand channels that features copyrighted unlicensed music. Now they're saying that they're going to run the checks in 30-minute blocks. If they don't find any, they don't do anything to it. But if they do find the copyrighted music within the stream, they will mute everything, the game, everything. Okay, let me just get into another match real quick and continue the commentary. Okay, as I was saying, Twitch, the game streaming service, will now be making stringent measures or taking stringent measures in combating video on demand channels that features copyrighted and unlicensed music in their videos. Now, they say they're going to be introducing some kind of software, some kind of technology that can detect the content being played throughout the videos that are on demand, and they'll be doing that in half-hour cycles. And if they don't hear anything, if it's not recorded, then fine, no problem. But if it is recorded and they do catch material that doesn't belong to them, they will mute the actual video's content. In game, out of game. You know, you could be playing music on your stereo. If they can hear that and know that that music is not original, it's not yours, they will mute your broadcast. Now, this has been met with a lot of disdain and disgust from some members of the Twitch community. Now, you have two strands. You have the strands that basically use copyrighted music and are appalled at this, and then you have the other strand of channels and commentators and what have you that don't use any copyrighted music and they just do what they do and it doesn't bother them. Now, this subject matter covers two subjects that I'm very passionate about. First of all, I love gaming. I love gaming. I've loved gaming for a long time. It's only of recent days it's only of recent years that I've really come back into the fold of gaming, as it were, and I'm really, really enjoying it. But here's the thing that kind of makes me passionate about this subject matter, is because, second of all, I make music. I make music for a living. That is my day job. You know, that's what I do to earn money. I'm not, you know, I'm not a big celebrity by any stretch of the imagination, but I make music in the organic sense of just making music to touch people and, you know, to inspire people and to uplift people and hopefully, you know, be comfortable in knowing that I can pay my bills, you know, and buy video games and put food on the table, sort of thing, you know. So this subject is very passionate from my standpoint. Now, here's the thing, right? I'm going to give you an example of what I'm trying to say. Now, if any one of you watching this video is a good writer and can tell stories, and you write a story, right? And one of you gave me the story to read, and I took that story to a publishing house, and that publishing house says, "Oh, I love this story. Is this yours?" And I'll say, "Yes." And you know I'm lying at that point, and I will basically sell the story to the publisher and get an advance of, let's say, $20,000, £35,000, and it becomes a bestseller and sells millions and millions and millions of copies, right? It's not going to take too long before you find out that the book that I've just made a bestseller is the book of the story that you wrote. Now let me ask you the question. Will you or will you not be pissed in that scenario? Of course you will. That is why Twitch is making the stand to basically take care of the people who are in the creative industry, in making sure that they are paid and recompensed for their efforts. It is no different. It is no different. If I write a piece of music and I put it out there and it's for sale, it's for commercial use, and I own all the rights to it, and you take my music and you put it on a video on demand, which you are actually charging people to see, then, you know, of course, if I find out that you're doing that, I'm gonna be pissed and I'm gonna take action. Now with the Last of Us videos that I do, I feature the music of Gustav. I can't even mention, well, I can't even pronounce his second name, right? But, you know, it's his material. I have to acknowledge third-party content, and that's what it is. It's the law. You can't be using somebody else's material for your own gain if you're gonna basically make money off it. Anyway, that is what I have to say on that matter. Before I shut this brother, pause. Before I shut this brother in his skull, all I have to say at this point is simply this. What Twitch are trying to do, and believe it or not, Ustream are going to do the same thing. So all those people who are saying, oh, I'm fucking going to Ustream, they're going to be doing the same thing too. What you have to look at, you have to look at it like this. What they are doing is trying to push you gently, nudge you down a road of creativity for you to create your own content, so that if somebody else sees your content and feels, oh, I like that content, I'm gonna make that mine, that you have grounds to say, no you don't, no you can't, and no you never will, because you are protected by copyright law. Now you have these channels that makes a whole lot of money actually getting your content, but you know, even though they're making a whole lot of money and you're making less money, there's no reason for you to be upset about that, because in you signing a contract, you're licensing your stuff to the partnership. And that's why they're making money, because they don't have to be making no videos. They're relying on you and the massive database around you and around every other channel and their immediate subscribers to gain the popularity, to change the swing of the barometer in order for them to make the money. Yeah, you know, if it's a hobby, it's a hobby. If it's a business, it's a business. But at the same time, you know, writing a book and writing a song is a difference between, you know, Jack Jones reading it or Beyonce reading it and want to make it into a movie, or me writing a song, or you writing a rap and Jay-Z wanting to basically copy that rap. Not that he ever will, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, right? So that's what I have to say on the matter. People, stop bitching about the fact that you've got to basically use original material. Think of it as you having to be original within your own shit, within your own channel. That's all Twitch is basically trying to, not so much enforce, but instill to people. You just can't be taking other people's stuff that they created, took time, effort, sacrifice a lot of stuff in order to create material for you just to pick up, put on your video on demand channel that you are charging people to freaking see. You know what I'm saying? So please, don't be bitching about something that you just don't own. Even the game that you are playing, you don't own that, okay? So everybody needs to calm the fuck down with that shit, man, and just enjoy what we're doing and give credit where credit is freaking due. That's all I have to say on the matter. But anyway, that's all from me for now. And as always, you know the coup. Whatever the game, whatever the platform, whatever the console, whatever the media, happy gaming, because it's all about happy gaming. And until I catch you guys on the next one, Megan.